Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get it. Let's go. I promise you, those were bro last words before I locked down the cell. He said, man, if I ever see him, I got a hand, Weezy. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm like, and I ain't really used to seeing Cecil that pumped up like that, you know what I mean? But Cecil, he didn't really look intimidating, man. Cecil brown skin, had the little fro, you know what I mean? A little taller than me. He didn't really work out that much. He had one of them regular bodies, paws, like he just, you know what I mean? But he wasn't no pump. He definitely gonna go, he definitely gonna fight. I just didn't see him in action yet. You know what I mean? But this man got 55 years. I feel like it ain't nothing to prove to a man that got 55 years. Because if somebody do something to him, he gonna wig out anyway. So I never worried about that. You know what I mean? But at the same time though, man, like from hearing him say what he said, like I just knew it never was a chance. Like that joint ain't gonna happen, man. Like it's impossible for it to happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like the young boy don't probably know them. People do put people on their list that, you know what I mean, that they can't be around, man. Like they'll have a list, they'll ask you, like, you have any enemies when you come to a prison, and you can say it. It's such and such here. And then if you ask it, inquiring about it, they're gonna look it up. And then if this person do happen to be there, then they gonna probably like, no, you can't be on this compound because you say you got an enemy. Like however they carry. I never been through the situation or knew nobody that been through this situation. I just know that they asked that question. And so like for real, like I just kind of blocked that out, and I just kind of really thought that never was gonna happen. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, that's not gonna ever happen, man. Like it's impossible for it to happen. It's impossible. Like it's crazy. So a little time went on, man. Like fast forward the tape a little bit, man. A little time went on, man. I ain't no bad. I had went to the hole for putting it in the cup. They hit me with the in the cup game, and I caught one of them janks. I went to the hole from 4C. Now when I was back there, bro went to the hole. Cecil went to the hole for 4C too. So this is like we stayed in 4C almost a year. So when I went to the hole, I was back there before him. So when I got out, they put me in the 2B joint. Now I'm in 2B. So when he got out, they put him in 2A. You know what I mean? They had put him in 2A, so he was in a non-state. So now on the compound, even it been like that on the compound, like red team, massive deep. Y'all already know it. Y'all know the routine in Virginia. Red team, super deep, man. So the camp is the camp. Like it's a lot of red team members on the camp. So, you know, we maneuvering through that though. We ain't tripping about this. A lot of red team members on the camp. Me personally, I was just happy to be out the hole from doing a 2-month and change game ever since I left 4C where I was chilling at, where I said I was gonna stay out of the way. Now I'm getting out the hole. They put me in 2B kind of in there with the old heads. Like, but I was all right with that. I wasn't tripping about being in there. You know what I mean? I wasn't tripping about being in there. But the whole time when I got over there, when we went to lunch, I seen Cecil. Cecil was on the boulevard talking to the captain. And he talking to the captain, and the lieutenant came out the watch office. So he talking to both of them. So I ain't hear what he said, but I see him. I ain't know he was like, oh, I'm like, what's up, bro? He was like, oh, I'm gonna holler at you away from you. I'm like, no, I can't wait. He was like, go ahead and chow, white. So I go in the chow, I'm at the door. So he come to the door. He like, hey, look, man. He was, hey, look, what's going on over there where you at? He like, because they got me in a non-tobacco pod, man. He was like, I ain't staying over there junk, man, with them old dudes. I said, bro, it's old dudes over here. He was like, yeah, everybody upstairs, man. He was like, everybody in 2C and 2D. And everybody in 4 building, he was like, man, for real though, man, I told them they gotta move me immediately, like, cause I ain't staying in 4, I ain't staying in 2A. I'm like, I know, man. He was like, yeah, look, man, what's going on though, man? You got a cell? I'm like, yeah, they got me in cell 34. You know what I mean? I was like, they got me in the cut, bro. I was like, you know, I ain't staying in that cell. I was like, for real? My celly working in the kitchen, so I'm just, you know, we kicking it. I ain't talked to him in a little minute. So he like, man, yeah, I can't wait to get my property, man. You know, he's like, yeah, I said, you gonna get your property tomorrow. So me and him kicking, I was like, you need something? He was like, yeah, send me something to eat until I get my stuff. So I guess he knew the CO. By the time we came back from child, like, I guess he knew the CO. The CO let me out our pod and into the hallway downstairs, and he was right there. So I brought out some food, you know what I mean? So we out there kicking it. So he like, yeah, man. He was like, man, it's crazy, man. I was like, bro, I was like, what you go to the hole for? He was like, man, for fighting, you know what I mean? He was like, the old head, for Richard trying to play him over the poker game. He was like, they got the fighting right there in the pod, you know what I mean? So he was like, yeah, man. He was like, man, I'm just chilling down though, man. I'm trying to stay out the way. He was like, man, I can't stay in that pod. I'm like, hey, bro, listen, it's probably less old heads over here. But I was like, it's old heads in this joint too, though. I'm just gonna disguise myself in here a little bit and just stay out the way, bro. Get myself back together, reset a little bit, man. He was like, yeah, I feel that. He was like, you ain't gambling no more. I was like, man, I ain't gambling right now. I said, they in here playing poker though. I was like, my mind ain't on that right now. Like, my mind, to be honest with y'all, my mind honestly was on how I'm gonna get some lala. Like, I was thinking like a psycho. I just come out the hole slightly. I'm like, I'm trying to get some lala. Like, that's what I'm thinking about. I ain't tell bro that, but that's what my mind was at. So he like, yeah, I'm gonna see. They said they gonna try to get me up out of there. Da-da-da-da. So bro ended up getting out the joint. Long story short, bro get out the joint. Take a couple days. They moved Cecil in our block. Soon as Cecil moving our block, man, it's him against the old heads. He go down there and play poker. You know what I mean? Wait his turn in line for he can run the game. He's back in full mode of running the poker game, playing poker, gambling. That's what he's doing. Like, with me not down there with him no more, I know it felt strange. Like, we wasn't the team like we used to be, but I just was kind of done gambling like that for the moment. You know what I mean? So, bro in there doing his bid, chilling, man. You know what I mean? Bro ain't got shit going on. So I can remember a time that I was about to go to Child. Like, I'm kind of late going to Child. Like, they exiting out for lunch. And it's a good tray. I forgot what tray it was. It might have been chicken patty, but they exiting out for lunch. So I come down the steps kind of last. Y'all know I'm a cell 34, so I come out kind of late. So when I come out kind of late, I look, I see the poker table dudes straggling a little bit. They still counting money, but they still want to go to Child. They trying to hurry up. You know what I mean? So I see Cecil. Cecil, he had his shirt right there. He grabbed his shirt. He's like, where's that? Wait for me, bro. I'm like, the door about to close. Boom. I caught the door. I was like, hurry up, man. Lady, like, let that slide go. Cecil like, hold on. So she like, let it go. I let the joint go. Boom. The joint slam. She couldn't get the intercom. She was like, White, don't hold that door no more. I said, man, he was about to come to Child. She said, I'll let him out. So I was like, all right, man. So I stood out in the hallway. She popped the check. Boosh. He come out. He was like, man, she wildin'. So me and bro get to walking to Child. So we walking kind of late. Like, we was jive late. So as we walking kind of late, we walking kind of like up the boulevard. So when we get like to the tip part of the boulevard, and I look back, the front door open up. So when the front door open up, I look, it's another pod coming. But every time, when it's time to eat, and they say exit out, man, like, you got those dudes that like freight trains, man. People be moving. People be running to the Child hall almost, man. So like, that's how I look. So when I look back and I seen a whole bunch of dudes, I knew it was on our pod. So I tell bro, I'm like, yo, watch out, bro. You know what I mean? So me and him kind of, because the sidewalk ain't really too big. I said, watch out, bro. So me and him kind of like moved to the side a little bit. And the pod just came, and they moving. So me and bro just kind of like on the edge of the sidewalk, and we walking. I'm like, man, what you doing on the poker table? We like, man, winning. You already know, winning, cracking their head. You already know. So we walking. And we just seen like a group of dudes just pass us, like, you know what I mean, go by. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that junk crazy. So they moved. So I ain't even paying no mind. So I seen a dude that was part of the red team. He walked by. So he was with the group of dudes that had just passed us. I said, oh, okay, those are the red team dudes. So they get up. So I see the dude. I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, oh, he's back. He's like, what's up, Weezy? What's good? I'm like, he's like, I'm trying to get this tray. Somebody owe me. So he put a pep in his stuff. And he walked. So we get to the Child hall. Our door locked. So we standing right there, like they whole pod coming to the other door. Like we supposed to be in this Child hall, but we late. So we standing right there, and it's like I get a good view of the whole pod. So as they door is still open, so I look at the group of dudes just to make sure. Like I looked inside the group of dudes. I had to double take y'all because it's been years. It's been years, man. Like it's been a while. I'm like. Hey, Ryan. I was like, oh, that's Ryan. I was like, hey, Ryan. Hey, Ryan. I was just going to see the answer. It was loud and Child. I'm outside. But I'm like yelling at them. So I'm like, hey, Ryan. Hey, Ryan. Last one, I guess he heard. He was like, when he turned around, I seen his face. I said, man, that's my ace, y'all. So, boom. Bro, see me, bro, said. I said, T White, bro. I got a little beard now and everything. I ain't had no beard in 2000. He like, oh, he was like, oh, he came to the door. Word, the police was right there. I was like, man, what's up? I bumped to the police. I went through the little gate. I was like, yo, what's up, bro? What's up? He was like, oh, man. He was like, man, y'all get back in y'all Child hall right now. So the little people coming in, he was like, man, look, bro. Man, I just got up here, man. Holler at me, though. Bro. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, that junk crazy, man. I was like, yo, this is wild, man. I was like, yo, this is wild right here, man. I'm like, man, I ain't seen bro in a minute. I ain't seen bro in a long time. This is my ace, too, man. I ain't gonna lie. So I go back in the Child hall and eat. Go back in there and eat. I ain't paying no attention. I go back in there and eat. Everything good. When I catch back up to Cecil, I'm like, yo. I was like, that's crazy, man. They just brought my homeboy. I was like, man, I was in the beach jail with him. I was like, he from the beach. I don't know if you know him. You know what I mean? Because you know Cecil was from the beach. I was like, I don't know if you know him. He from the beach. He was like, he from the beach. I'm like, yeah. He was like, who the dude you was talking to? I'm like, yeah. He was like, nah, I don't think I know him. I don't really think I know him. I'm like, yeah, that's my dog, man. I was like, man, I can't wait to call Rec. You know what I mean? So we ate, went back to the pod, you know what I mean? So when they call Rec, it was for 2 o'clock Rec. So I go outside. We on the yard. Man, that's word, man. I did some old maniac stuff, man. I had the buck, 229, all type of stuff. It was going on yard 1. We was going on the ball field. So I'm like, man, I gotta get on yard 1 with my guys. So I came out the pod, with the little worker, the yard worker. I shoot out with him. I'm in the hallway. Nobody saying that. I'm standing out there at first. The CO see me. He's like, what you doing, White? I'm like, look, I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. My cousin just got up here, man. Man, I ain't holler at bro in a long time, man, since we was in the jail, man. I was like, man, let me holler at them. They got the yard right there, man. I said, my pod going on the big yard. I said, they got this joint. Let me get on the joint. He was like, all right, go ahead up there now. So he just let me walk on the joint. So I was already on the yard when they came. So I look up, they pod coming. You know what I mean? So he finally came to the jump. He seen me. He was like, oh, so he seen me, bro. And I seen him walk up. I seen bro walk up. Bros with like 5 red team members, you know what I mean? And I noticed it. But I still didn't want to speculate off the rip because I was just so happy to see bro. So bro come up. I'm like, sup, bro? It's good, man. Bro, he's like, man, it's crazy. We like, I ain't never think I was gonna bump heads. I said, bro, you told me you was going out there to chill. What you got going on, bro? He was like, man, wildin', bro. He said, man, I was out on bond. Man, he said, then I got caught, man. He was like, man, I got a malicious wounding, man. He said, man, then the whole Virginia Beach hate my guts. I was rumbling in the jail. He was like, man, crazy, man. He was like, man, look. I said, yo, bro. I looked at his arm. I seen a 5 on his arm. I said, yo, bro. I said, bro, you in red team gang? He was like, yeah. I'm red team. I was like, man, all right, ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. I'm just saying, I just had to ask. I said, bro, listen, all that stuff you was telling me, bro, like, I said, man, I really thought you was gonna stay out of the way, though, bro. I said, man, I'm in here doing all this time. I still got time to do, man. I bump into you. I said, I'm happy to see you. I said, man, but I wanted you to still be on the street, man. I might need you one of these days, man. I was like, you know, I lost your address when I went to the hole. I ain't had nothing. He said, yeah, I was figuring out why you ain't get with me. So I was straight out there. So I'm like, man, that joke crazy. So me and him rapping it. We hitting laps. We chilling, you know what I mean? As we talking, he see some red team members that he know. He holler. So as we walking, like on our 5th lap, I look, I seen Cecil. Cecil was at the gate. He see me, he's like, hey, Weezy. I'm like, yo, he was like, man, you leave me out here by myself? I said, man, I thought you was about to stay in and gamble, bro. I ain't know you. I told you I was coming out to holler at my bro. He was like, oh, yeah. I said, yeah, this is your bro right here, man. I was like, yo, that's Cecil, man. I said, I rock with him too, though. I said, he from the beach too, though, bro. He was like, he looked at him, he was like, why, what's up, bro? Ryan. He was like, yo, what's good, little homie? You know what I mean? He spoke to him. That was that. You know what I mean? So I ain't saying nothing about it. So me and bro finished kicking it. I was like, bro, you gonna like this camp though, man. I was like, for real though, bro. Like the only thing that might get you crazy tangled up, bro. And I said, I'm only telling you this because I rock with you, bro. I got crazy love for you, bro. I said, man, that red team stuff, bro. I said, look. I said, they cracking down on that stuff. I said, y'all super deep up here. He said, I know we deep everywhere. I said, bro, how much time you got? He said, I ain't got number 8 years. For a malicious wounding. I'm like, man. I said, yo, you came off. He was like, no, I was the plea. I took the plea. I could have been started doing my time. He was like, man, but for real, I just was out on bond. He was like, I just decided like, yo, they finally got me. So I just came. I'm ready to do my time, bro. So I'm like, yeah, that's what's up, man. I'm like, yo, man, don't get tangled up with the red team, bro. He was like, no, you good, Weezy, man. Look, bro, I had looked at bro. He had got older. He had looked way more mature. He looked a little bigger, pause. Like, looked like he probably was doing push-ups somewhere. But he didn't look little no more. Like, me and him was like, I was little back then. He was little, I was little. So it was like, he didn't look little no more. I'm like, man. I'm like, bro, he was like, nah, we just look. I can handle myself, bro. You know what I mean? I can handle myself, bro. Like, you good. Like, it ain't nothing like that. You know what I mean? I was like, man, please be careful up here, bro. I said, bro, because look, you one of the ones that I really rock with, bro. I said, I rock with you, bro. I said, over a lot of Norfolk dudes, I rock with you, bro, for real, because I know I met you first. You know what I mean? He was like, bro, we good, bro. He was like, look, I ain't no little peon in the red team stuff, so you ain't got to worry about that. He was like, look, I ain't gonna be doing nothing like that. And I be getting the pack, though. Like, he was like, look, how the pack go up here, though? I was like, oh, you be getting the pack? He was like, yeah, what they be talking about? I said, I'm saying, like, you know, you get the la-la, the hottest chicken, the dog food, all that is money, bro. He was like, yeah, look, I'm trying to get all 3. He was like, look, my girl come see me this weekend, bro. Look, it's on. So, look, you already know what to do out here. I'm like, yeah. I said, but look, no, nah, put your homies on, bro. This send me something to mess with. I was like, I ain't really want to work for bro. Like, off top, we meeting like that. Like, it was a good opportunity because I rock with him, you know what I mean? But, like, something told me turn it down. He's like, yo, he was like, you ain't, I was like, yeah, but I'll tell you, or bring you plays. I was like, bro, I just want you to be careful because I know how this camp is. I've been on this camp. Like, this be easy on the joint. He was like, yeah, I ain't tripping about the joint, man. So I'm like, all right. So me and bro kidded the whole time at Rec Game, yo. I promise you, man. It was time to go back, man. I dap bro up. I said, I'm gonna holler, y'all. So boom. When I get back to the pod, first person I see was Cecil. You know what I mean? Cecil right there. I pull up on him. I'm like, what's up, man? I'm like, what's up? You all right? He went at the gambling table. I see them gambling. I'm like, what's up? You gambling? You ain't gambling? You all right? He was like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good, Weezy, man. I'm like, yeah, I'm just making sure. I was like, because I ain't never really seen you come outside like that. You know what I mean? I said, I look up, you talk about why I leave you outside. I said, I ain't want to put you on blast and be like, you never come outside. I said, I honestly really thought you was going to stay back and gamble, bro. He was like, nah, I was joking with you. I just had to come outside and just see something. I had to just come outside and see something for real. I was like, word. I said, you handle your business though? Everything good? He was like, yeah, everything good. He did one of these jokes. He was like, yeah, everything good. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up, man. I was like, look, you going to dinner? He was like, yeah, I'm going. So we go to dinner. When we come back from dinner, we come in the long way. So we had the roadblock at the gate. 2 buildings right there though. We had the fence. We done came all the way around. We look up, we see 2C coming out. That's the part my bro was in, you know what I mean? I see Ryan, I'm like, yo. He like, what's up? I'm like, yeah, what's up? He was like, bro, catch me tomorrow. That was the weekend. He was like, bro, catch me tomorrow. He was like, yo, bro, look, don't forget to catch me tomorrow, bro. I'm like, all right. He was like, look, bro, we unlocked Saturday, bro. I'm like, all right, bro, keep that down, bro. He was like, all right. So, bro, go to try. So I'm just waiting for them to open the gate. So I'm talking to another dude. I was talking to him. But when I looked out my parental, like, I knew I wasn't tripping because when I saw it. Like, I be probably seeing things sometime, but I know this was an imaginary C right here. Like, but I'm talking to bro next to me. I said, yeah, bro. I looked over at Cecil. Cecil was like, he was slightly growling, y'all. So boom. Look, what's up, bro? You all right? He like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good, Weezy. Yeah, I'm good, Weezy. I'm like, bro, listen, bro. Like, you just talk about it. Be all right. I was like, look. I said, look, bro, look. I grabbed him. I said, look, ain't quiet as kept, bro. I said, we gonna have some la-la this weekend, too. He was like, for real? I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, look, my homeboy, he gonna get the la-la, bro. I was like, he get the la-la. He trying to get me to do a little job. I was like, I ain't working for a red team member, though, bro. Nothing personal. I was like, but I just told him, look out. I was like, so we gonna be straight. I said, look, you trying to buy something, huh? He was like, he looked at me like, he gave me a look. He was like, no, I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that what he got. I'm good. I'm like, yeah, bro, so we gonna be straight. He was like, yeah. He played it all nice. He was like, yeah. Open the gate up. Time to go back to the pod. We get back to the building, get back in the pod. I look again, bro ain't gambling again. So I start walking laps, listen to the music. I'm like, maybe bro needs some time alone. So I'm just chilling. I'm just walking laps. Minding my business. I ain't got no problem with nobody, man. I'll be here in a couple days. I'm chilling. See an old head say, hey, Weezy. That's like I read his lips when I looked up. I just seen somebody say, hey, Weezy. But I couldn't hear him. I just seen, Weezy. I'm like, I said, you called me? He was like, yeah, come here. I'm like, what's up? Old head be at the pool table. I'm like, what's up? He said, hey, man, let me holler at you. What's good, old school? He said, what's wrong with Cecil? I was like, what you talking about? He was like, something got to be wrong. I said, why you say that, though? He said, cuz he ain't at the pool table. He said, this man running the game. He said, he told me to take his spot. We all went to lunch. I was like, real, man? I said, he running. I said, he said, it's his game. He said, I'm about to close it because I don't want to be responsible if he losing or not. He said, every time I try to talk to him, he tell me just stay at the table. So I see you talking to him. So that's why I'm asking you, what's wrong with Cecil? I'm like, bro, I don't know. I said, but to be honest with you, though, like, something is different about him, man. I was like, I ain't been around him in a minute. You know what I mean? I was like, this is my guy. I was like, but we was in 4 building. I said, now we over here. He just moved over here. It's like, I rock with him, but I ain't been around him in a little second. So I was like, I don't know what's going on with him. He was like, man, something got to be going on. He said, is it somebody he beefing with outside? I was like, somebody he beefing with outside? I said, no, I know. I said, if he get into some beef, I'm going to rock with bro. You know what I mean? I said, I'm going to rock with bro, man. Like, you know what I mean? If he get into some stuff, I'm going to go with him all day. So he like, it's something, Weezy. He was like, it's something because ain't no way in the world he gonna make me take his spot for this long. He was like, man, well, look, tell him I'm about to close this down at count time. I'm gonna give everybody what they got in their chips, and everybody already know that Cecil wilding out right now. So let him know. I said, all right, I'm gonna tell him, man. He was like, man, look, check on him too, man. Make sure he all right, man. I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna check, man. I'm gonna go see what's going on, y'all. So boom, I dipped off, man. But hearing that, I still like, man, like I can't put a finger on what's going on. I can't guess what's going on, man. The only thing I know is, man, it's starting to look crazy, man. That Cecil kind of like, Cecil on some different time. Like, he showed a whole different side. Like, and I didn't know, I couldn't figure out what it was. Old head figured out. Old head said he told him to take his spot earlier. Running the poker game. When you playing poker and it's your turn to run the poker game, everybody know that's what everybody wait for, man. Because you're going majority of the time win. So like, for him not caring about that, something definitely was going on. Something definitely was going on, man. I just couldn't figure it out. So I waited a little bit more. And I seen him come out of the cell. When he came out of the cell, he still acted like he wasn't caring about the poker game. So it's about to be locked down. I see old head closing it up. So I see another dude, hey, Cecil. Another dude was at the gate, hey, Cecil. Hey, Cecil. Cecil like, what's up? He was like, look, man, we need you over here, man. Cecil was like, look, man, he got it, man. He's straightening. I'll straighten anything. Y'all handle that. Dude was like, all right. So they sat over there, dude handled the business. I guess he paid everybody out who won and got the money from dudes that lost. I don't know what happened. But Cecil still didn't care about the poker table. So I see him, I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? What you got going on, man? You all right? He was like, yeah, I'm good, man. I said, no, you're not, bro. I said, stop willing, bro. I said, look, bro, stop willing, bro. What's going on? I said, bro, you're not even gambling, bro. You think I don't know you? I said, me and you gambled for a whole year straight in 4C, bro. I know you, my guy. What's going on? He was like, I don't know if I can trust you, Weezy. I was like, what do you mean you don't know if you can trust me, bro? I said, can you trust me when we was in 4 building? He was like, I'm trying to find out now, man. Just a lot going on, man. He did one of them jokes. He was like, just a lot going on, man. I said, bro, hold on, bro. What you got problem with me? Everything straight? He was like, yeah, I ain't got no problem with you, man. He was like, man, crazy Weezy, man. I was like, what, bro? What are you talking about? He was like, man, I think the dude up here, man, that unalived my nephew.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way, if you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous. Did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments. Get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart just to open your eyes up.